Bhangarh Fort, the cursed ruins of Rajasthan. In the shadow of the Aravalli Hills lies a fort with a story so haunting that locals warn visitors to leave before sunset. This is Bhangarh Fort, a place where history and legend intertwine to create one of India's most infamous mysteries. Located in Alwar district of Rajasthan, Bhangarh Fort was built in 1573 by Raja Bhagwan Das for his son, Madho Singh I. The fort flourished for a time, becoming a small but thriving city surrounded by temples, markets, and gardens. But today, its ruins are eerily silent, shrouded in a reputation of curses and restless spirits. Its reputation begins with the tale of the cursed princess. The princess of the fort, Princess Ratnavati, was a figure of legend, renowned for her intelligence, beauty, and mastery of ancient texts. Ratnavati's exceptional intellect and grace also drew envy. She was said to possess an almost mystical presence, with some even believing she was blessed or cursed with divine gifts that set her apart from other women of her time. It was this extraordinary reputation that caught the attention of Singhiya, the sorcerer who would ultimately seal the fort's fate. Singhiya became obsessed with the princess, and knowing he could never win her love, he devised a plan. He enchanted a bottle of perfume meant for the princess, hoping that its spell would compel her to fall in love with him. But Ratnavati was no ordinary princess. Realizing the trick, she poured the perfume onto a nearby boulder. The magic backfired, and the boulder hurtled towards Singhiya, crushing him. With his dying breath, he cursed the fort, condemning it and its inhabitants to death and destruction. Shortly after the curse, Bhangarh's fortunes turned. A neighboring kingdom invaded, leading to the massacre of its people and its famed princess. The city never recovered, and today, its crumbling walls and temples stand as a reminder of its tragic history. Even now, locals believe the curse lingers. It is said that anyone who spends the night within the fort's boundaries meets a mysterious and untimely end. The Archaeological Survey of India has even placed a sign at the entrance, warning visitors not to stay after sunset. Bhangarh's paranormal reputation precedes it. Bhangarh Fort isn't just a picturesque ruin with a legendary curse. It's also a hotspot for paranormal phenomena. The Indian Archaeological Survey's stern warning not to remain after sunset has become as infamous as the fort itself. While the official explanation cites wild animals, the locals will tell you otherwise. It's not leopards or jackals that keep visitors away. Visitors who've ignored the warning report unsettling experiences. Disembodied voices echo through the crumbling halls, anguished cries, faint whispers, and eerie laughter that seems to come from nowhere. On moonless nights, flickering lights are said to appear deep within the ruins, visible even from the nearby village. Despite its ominous reputation, Bhangarh Fort attracts thousands of visitors every year. It's not just the tales of curses that draw people, but its architecture and historical significance. Walking through the fort today, you'll see remnants of the Gopinath Temple, a market square, and a royal palace perched on a hill. It's a rare glimpse into the past, one steeped in beauty and mystery. Was the fort truly cursed, or is it simply a victim of time and legend? That is what visitors to Bhangarh seek to discover for themselves. Quick interruption, guys. If you're liking this content, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to grow and improve and put more great content out in the future. Thanks. Haunted Legends of the Queen Mary, a floating palace turned paranormal icon. When the RMS Queen Mary launched in 1936, it represented the pinnacle of luxury and engineering. Designed to transport the world's elite across the Atlantic, the ship could accommodate over 2,000 passengers and crew. But by the time World War II erupted, the Queen Mary was transformed into a military troop ship, painted a drab gray and nicknamed the Grey Ghost. Between 1940 and 1947, the Queen Mary carried over 800,000 soldiers, becoming a crucial asset to the Allied war effort. Her wartime service was not without tragedy, however, and the ship's long history of death and misfortune began to leave its mark. The engine room and hatch door number 13. One of the most infamous areas of the Queen Mary is the engine room, home to hatch door number 13, also known grimly as the Door of Doom. In 1966, a crewman named John Petter was reportedly crushed to death by the massive door during a routine drill. Petter, just 18 years old at the time, is said to still haunt the area, with visitors reporting phantom footsteps, the metallic sound of clanging, and cold drafts near the door. Some have even claimed to see an apparition in oil-stained overalls wandering the room. The tragic story of Jackie. One of the ship's most enduring mysteries is the presence of Jackie, a playful spirit said to haunt the first-class swimming pool. According to lore, Jackie drowned in the pool during the Queen Mary's heyday as a luxury liner. While no official record of her death exists, paranormal investigators and visitors have consistently reported hearing the laughter of a young girl echoing through the pool area. Jackie is also known to engage with guests, with some claiming she sings nursery rhymes or leaves wet footprints near the edge of the empty pool. Wartime tragedies and the Queen Mary's collision. During her time as a troop ship, the Queen Mary was involved in one of the deadliest maritime accidents of World War II. In 1942, while traveling off the east coast of Ireland, the Queen Mary collided with her escort ship, the HMS Curaçao. The Queen Mary, unable to slow down due to wartime protocols, sliced the smaller ship in half, killing 337 crew members on board the Curaçao. Survivors of the Queen Mary's wartime voyages often report eerie occurrences, attributing them to the souls lost during the collision. Paranormal investigators have flocked to the Queen Mary for decades, captivated by its well-documented hauntings. In 2008, the show Ghost Hunters captured compelling evidence of disembodied voices and shadowy figures in the pool area and the ship's luxury suites. One investigator claimed to have been shoved in the engine room, while others recorded EVPs that whispered ominous phrases like, "Leave now," and "Help me." With 49 recorded deaths aboard the Queen Mary during its service as a luxury liner and troop ship, the Queen Mary is a microcosm of human history, both tragic and triumphant. Today, as a museum and hotel, it continues to attract visitors curious about its stories, both historical and supernatural. Whether it's the laughter of Jackie, the solemn presence of John Petter, or the lingering souls from its wartime service, the Queen Mary remains a portal to the past. Aokigahara Forest, Japan's Sea of Trees. Nestled at the foot of Mount Fuji lies Aokigahara Forest, a sprawling expanse of dense foliage and volcanic rock often called Jukai, or Sea of Trees. Known for its quiet beauty and haunting silence, the forest also carries a darker reputation. Over the years, it has been called the Suicide Forest, a place where myth, sorrow, and mystery intertwine. Aokigahara's ominous reputation is rooted in centuries of Japanese folklore. Stories of ubasut, the abandonment of elderly or infirm relatives during times of famine, have long been associated with the forest. Though no historical records confirm that Aokigahara was used for this grim practice, the legends persist, casting a shadow over its serene appearance. Adding to the forest's mystique is its volcanic origin. Formed by lava flows from Mount Fuji's eruption in 864 CE, Aokigahara's uneven terrain and nutrient-rich soil gave rise to its uniquely dense and twisted canopy. Even today, sunlight struggles to penetrate its depths, creating an eerie twilight that unsettles visitors. In more recent history, Aokigahara became infamous as a site for suicides. The forest's tragic association gained widespread attention in the 1960s with the publication of Naminoto, or Tower of Waves, a novel by Seicho Matsumoto. The story's protagonist ends his life in Aokigahara, and the book inadvertently popularized the forest as a destination for those seeking a final escape. While annual suicide counts are no longer released to discourage visitors with such intentions, estimates suggest that dozens of people are lost in the forest each year. Local authorities conduct regular patrols, often discovering personal belongings, notes, wallets, and even camping gear, left behind by those who never returned. The forest's dense, labyrinthine paths amplify its unsettling atmosphere, and local legends tell of restless spirits, known as yurei, haunting the area. These spirits are believed to be tethered to the living world by unresolved emotions, often grief or rage. A chilling account from the 1990s tells of a hiker who stumbled upon an abandoned campsite deep in the forest. The site's tent appeared to have been left untouched for weeks, with food supplies still inside. Nearby, the man found a rope hanging from a tree, frayed at the end, as if someone had attempted to leave but could not. He later reported hearing faint whispers and feeling an inexplicable pull to return to the spot, even after leaving the forest. Aokigahara's unsettling nature isn't just psychological. The terrain itself plays tricks on those who enter. The volcanic soil, rich in magnetic materials, interferes with compasses and GPS devices, making navigation difficult. Visitors often lose their way as the dense vegetation and lack of discernible landmarks create a disorienting maze. Scientists and cultural historians have speculated that these natural elements, combined with the forest's silence, free of birdsong or rustling leaves due to its density, may amplify feelings of despair and unease. Despite its grim reputation, Aokigahara is also a place of remarkable natural beauty, home to rare plants, caves filled with icicles, and lava-lined pathways. The forest attracts nature enthusiasts and adventurers who marvel at its otherworldly charm. Even in the face of signs scattered throughout the forest saying, "Your life is precious, and think of those who love you," pleading with visitors to seek help. Poveglia Island, the Island of Shadows. Nestled in the Venetian lagoon, Poveglia Island lies shrouded in mystery and fear. From a distance, its abandoned structures and overgrown vegetation paint a serene picture, but its grim past has earned it a reputation as one of the most haunted places in the world. A plague island. Poveglia's infamous history began in 1776 when it was designated as a quarantine station for ships arriving in Venice. During the 18th century, as bubonic plague outbreaks swept through Europe, the island became a dumping ground for those suspected of carrying the disease. Tens of thousands were sent to Poveglia, many of whom were burned in mass pyres, their ashes mingling with the soil. Poveglia's soil is rumored to be made up of 50% human ashes. This macabre chapter lasted until 1814, leaving a haunted legacy that endures to this day. The asylum era. In 1922, Poveglia's dark story took another chilling turn when a psychiatric hospital was established on the island. Rumor has it the hospital's head doctor reportedly performed cruel and experimental procedures on patients, including lobotomies. Many of the patients spoke of strange shadows and disembodied voices, but their accounts were dismissed as symptoms of their illnesses. Legend holds that the doctor, driven to madness by the same spirits haunting his patients, threw himself from the island's bell tower. Though the bell was removed long ago, visitors often claim to hear its phantom toll, echoing across the lagoon. The hospital closed its doors in 1968, leaving behind crumbling buildings and whispered stories of torment and despair. Poveglia has become a magnet for ghost hunters and thrill seekers, though the Italian government has prohibited public access since 1968. Paranormal investigators have reported chilling encounters, wailing cries, the sensation of being touched by unseen hands, and shadowy figures moving between the ruins. The bell tower, in particular, is a focal point for supernatural tales. Fishermen in the 1970s recounted eerie experiences near the island, describing ghostly lights and voices calling out from the abandoned structures. One fisherman claimed to have pulled up a human skull in his net, a grim reminder of the island's harrowing past. Why does Poveglia still haunt us? The island's aura of dread has resisted time, remaining imprinted on those who dare to get too close. Some attribute the paranormal activity to the plague victims who perished in agony, while others believe the asylum's patients, or even the tortured doctor, are unable to find peace. Poveglia's ghostly reputation remains intact today, and in 2014 the Italian government attempted to auction the island, but the public protests halted the sale. Locals insist it should remain untouched, a solemn memorial to the countless lives lost and a testament to its haunted past.